You promised yourself you'd change. And you didn't. Not because you're lazy, not because you're incapable, but because when the moment came, you moved, your mind shifted, you felt resistance, and you listened. You felt discomfort, and you avoided it. You felt doubt, and you obeyed it. And in that small moment, when no one was watching, you lost control. Again, be honest with yourself for a second. How many times have you said, "This is the day I become disciplined," only to break it quietly? No one sees it, no one calls it out, but you feel it. That slow, silent erosion of trust in yourself. And this is exactly why most men will never reach the level of control the Stoics talked about, because that level requires something terrifying, a mind that does not move. Chapter 1. The Illusion of Effort. Daniel believed he was trying. He woke up early, sometimes. He worked hard when he felt like it. He stayed focused until something pulled him away. From the outside, he looked like someone improving, but inside, there was a pattern, a hidden one. Every time something became slightly uncomfortable, his standard shifted. Not enough to notice immediately, just enough to stay comfortable. He didn't quit. He adjusted. And that's what made it dangerous. Because quitting is obvious. Adjustment is invisible. You tell yourself, "I'll do it later. I just need a break. I'll start fresh tomorrow." And each time, you believe it. But what you don't realize is, you're not building discipline. You're building a habit of escape. And over time, that habit becomes your identity. Chapter 2. The realization most avoid. It happened on an ordinary night. No crisis, no breakdown, no dramatic failure, just silence. Daniel sat alone, looking at everything he said he would do and everything he didn't. The gap was undeniable. There was no confusion anymore. He knew exactly what needed to be done. And still, he didn't do it. That's when something shifted. Not motivation, not inspiration, something colder, more honest. I don't have a discipline problem. I have a control problem. Because every time his mind resisted, he obeyed. Every time it offered comfort, he accepted. Every time it suggested delay, he agreed. And slowly, without realizing it, he gave his authority away. Chapter 3. The System Controlling You. Most people think they're in control. They're not. Your brain is wired for survival, not growth. It seeks comfort, avoids pain, protects familiarity. This is what psychology calls the limbic system. It reacts instantly, emotionally, automatically. And when you try to do something difficult, it pushes back, not loudly, subtly. It says, "You're tired. You've done enough. This can wait." And the dangerous part is, it sounds like you, it feels like logic, so you trust it, you follow it. And every time you do, you reinforce the same loop. Feel, avoid, repeat. Daniel had been living in this loop for years, not because he wanted to fail, but because he never questioned the voice controlling him. Chapter 4. The Stoic Difference. The Stoics saw this clearly. They didn't try to eliminate emotion, they removed its authority. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait to feel ready. He didn't negotiate with discomfort. He didn't ask, "Do I want to do this?" He asked, "Is this necessary?" And once that answer was clear, there was no second step. Action followed, immediately. That is Stoic control. Not feeling strong, but acting without permission from your feelings. Chapter 5. Why you always restart. Be honest. You've started before. More than once. You felt motivated. You built momentum. You believed, this time is different. But it wasn't, because you relied on intensity instead of identity. You tried to change everything at once. New habits, new routines, new mindset. And for a few days, it worked until resistance came back stronger. And when it did, you broke. Not because you're weak, but because your system was. The Stoics didn't rely on bursts. They built consistency, cold, repetitive, unexciting consistency. And that's why it worked. Chapter 6. The decision most men avoid. Real change doesn't feel powerful. It feels final. Daniel didn't feel motivated. He didn't feel ready. He just saw the truth. If I keep negotiating, I will never change. So he made a decision. Not emotional, not temporary, permanent. I will act regardless of how I feel. No more debate, no more delay, no more comfort-based choices. From that moment, his feelings lost authority. Chapter 7. The first real test. The next morning, nothing felt different. No energy, no excitement, no motivation, just resistance. The alarm rang and the voice returned. Stay. For a moment, everything paused. This was the moment, the exact point where he always failed. But this time, he didn't think. He didn't argue. He didn't negotiate. He moved. Immediately. And something changed. The resistance didn't disappear, but it stopped mattering. Chapter 8. The scary level. This is the level most men will never reach because it removes something they depend on, choice in the moment. At this level, you don't decide based on feeling. You execute based on identity. You wake up and act. You plan and follow through. You feel resistance and ignore it. Not because it's easy, but because it's no longer optional. This is Stoic control, a mind that does not move. A few days later, Daniel faced something he used to avoid: pressure, responsibility, discomfort. The old version of him would hesitate, delay, escape, but this time, nothing happened. No internal argument, no emotional reaction, just stillness. And then, action. Calm, direct, unshaken. That's when it becomes real. Not when you feel strong, but when nothing can move you. Right now. You already know the one thing you keep avoiding, the one thing you keep negotiating. Don't scroll, don't ignore it, write it down. And this time, don't think. Act. Subscribe to Unique Vision for more cinematic lessons on discipline, control, and Stoic identity. And begin becoming the man your current self can't control.